We have hit that time of year where it is senior night and last visits, our last time of many this year to the Eric Clark Activity Center and Bill Shepherd Court. It is Carmel and Crispus Attucks to kick off our regular season finale week on ISC and MyIndy TV. 3 consecutive nights of senior nights here on TV 23. Tonight's game presented in part by Banks and Brower. For every hour, there's Banks and Brower. By Cluster Truck, now available in Carmel, starting this Friday. By Galenko and Daly, we go to work when you can't. Learn more at IndianaWorkers.com. By LD Smith Plumbing, the big dogs of plumbing. By Unranked Hoops, Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy. Check out UNRNKD.com. And by Wabash College, schedule your visit today at wabash.edu. Alongside the Hall of Famer Dave Nicholson, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. And it's a Carmel team, Dave, that we felt we had a pretty good handle on. They've kind of been leaking oil a little bit over the course of the last couple of weeks. Losses to Hamilton Southeastern and to a Warren Central team that has been struggling this year. Warren got them in overtime on Friday night.
Yeah, they did. They've hit a couple of bumps in the road, and no one would expect them to lose. But both of those ball clubs, Hamilton Southeastern and Warren Central, on a given night can be really, really good. And in the Southeastern game, Carmel, I believe, scored 1 field goal in the second half. And that's unbelievable. But then it took a 3-point shot to lose that. Warren Central, same thing. On a given night, they've got athletes that can show up that night and have an outstanding game. And I think it's good that Carmel came back and beat Providence, got that out of the system. And tonight they need to get another W going into the Noblesville sectional next week.
To some degree, kind of different views out of the windshield, so to speak, for these two teams, because for Carmel, this is it. This is the last regular season, and they actually do have a game in hand, but they've elected to not make up that game against Crown Point. So they are off until next Friday. They drew the bye in the Noblesville sectional. We'll see the Hounds next week. As far as Attucks is concerned, they got quite the finishing kick. They're going to play at Roncalli on Thursday. They're going to host Ben Davis on Saturday. Then it is to their section, which they are hosting, but they are doing so at Broad Ripple. And again, this is a bit of a different Attucks team. They've been on a great run, and they're still a really solid team. They're 14-5, and they have won their league, the Capital City Conference, going 5-0. But this is a smaller group and a younger group. But, man, they have a star in Dejan Hall.
Yeah, and Attucks is, I believe, they've won the last 6 games and the last 9 out of 10. So they've come on. I understand it's a different schedule than Carmel plays, but if they can come in and show a good showing in the next 2 closing games, Roncalli and Ben Davis, that should set them up well going in, mentally going into the sectional.
Yeah, a year ago, that kind of tipped the hand, and again, that was more of a known commodity Crispus Attucks team that had several players that are now playing college basketball, led by Indiana All-Star Desmond Briscoe on back-to-back nights to close the season. Attucks beat Carmel and beat Ben Davis on their way to the 3A championship game. They began their postseason run by knocking off Cathedral in the Shortridge sectional semifinal, and Cathedral will be in their path again in sectional number 26 in 3A.
And everyone, I would think, if you had to pick one, you're going to pick Cathedral. But it's a sectional tournament. They're in separate brackets. And they only have to beat them once.
This is the rare year where Attucks and Cathedral did not meet each other in the city tournament. Attucks was knocked off by Cecina in the semifinals. Cathedral then would beat Cecina in the city championship game. Speaking of avoiding the sectional favorite, Carmel has done that as well. They and Fishers drew the bye. For those of you that want to talk about seeding in postseason hoops, the Noblesville sectional looks like that was the case that was done. Fishers plays the first semifinal on Friday. Carmel has the second. Dave, they will see the winner of HSC and Westfield next Friday night at 7:30 at the Mill.
And it's interesting that Noblesville group going into the Noblesville sectional. Noblesville had beat Southeastern, but they've lost to Fishers, Carmel, Westfield, and Zionsville. Westfield has lost to every team in the sectional. It means nothing. I tell you, Westfield can step up and upset somebody. And of course, Fishers has beat everybody.
Correct.
But the others have mixed it up pretty good. Southeastern beat Westfield and Carmel. They've lost to Fishers, Zionsville, and Noblesville. Carmel beats Zionsville and Noblesville. and Westfield. And then they lose to Fishers and Southeastern. So it's really a kind of a mix. But when it comes sectional time, everyone talks about being a new season. And if Minley, doesn't matter if you lose your last game of the regular season, if you can block that out and approach the sectional play correctly, mentally and positive, you can win the sectional.
And frankly, that's where we'll be camped out next week. We will be at Noblesville. We'll have all 5 games streamed on ihsaatv.org for free. You'll catch the last 4 games that'll be available on MyIndyTV 23. We'll have Game 2 on Tuesday. It'll be a television game between Hamilton Southeastern and Westfield. Then both semifinals on Friday night and the Saturday night championship game. We'll take this 2-minute timeout. We'll keep our focus on this game. We'll come back with coaches' keys for each of these 2 teams. That's when we come back to Carmel. Carmel and Attucks, it's yours in about 15 minutes as you're watching on ISC and MyIndyTV.
You know, Wabash is a school for people who are serious about reaching their full potential. If you really want to be challenged, you really want to reach your goals, you really want to take the road less traveled, if you're the kind of person that wouldn't have it any other way, we have a culture here where people outwork and outlove every day. And if that's what you're looking for, then we're your place.
Your home uses water all day, every day. So when plumbing problems arise, you need them fixed fast and right. The LD Smith Plumbing crew can handle anything, from outdoor plumbing repairs to everyday water problems. Plumbing may not be pretty, but we're pretty darn good at it, and we'll always give you a fair price.
That's our dirty, stinking honest LD Smith Plumbing promise.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Call today and save up to $300 on a new water heater installed.
Hey, it's Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And each and every week in podcast form, video form from the ISC Sports Network, we do Query and Schultz, brought to you by Bailey & Wood, the fine folks south side of Indianapolis, but serving all of central Indiana for the best mortgage rates.
And, of course, we record right here at Chilly Water Brewing Tap Room and our friends at Hoagies and Hops, 42nd and Boulevard, right here in Indianapolis. We're talking Colts, we're talking Pacers, we're talking Hoosiers, we're talking Boilers, and we're hanging with you.
We talk the tall and the short of it, right, is what we do.
Yeah, whatever, man. Every Tuesday night, 7:30, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
Got the dunk, got the poster, and gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away, and he puts it away. I want to take this moment to thank our outstanding crew that are making this broadcast possible to you on both ISC and MyIndyTV. It's Vince Morales and Charlie Hammock in the truck tonight. On the cameras, Alex Laverne, Jacob Kripe, and our 7-foot cameraman, David Jones. Guys, thank you so much for helping us bring this game to the masses on this Tuesday evening. It's Coach's Keys. Dave, what are you focused on for each of these 2 teams tonight?
Number 1 key for Carmel is to decide how they're going to try to defend Hall. He had 29 points average, but recently he had 53 points in a single game. That's more than a lot of teams. So you look at the score after the games, a lot of teams don't get 53. 2 ways to approach it, I think. Do you okay, one man can't beat you? Well, 53 might, but you just let him get his points, defend everybody else, or you try to double up on it and slow him down. I think the second option, you've got to try to slow him down, get him to take difficult shots. So depending on how they decide that. And the second key, the emotions. This is the last regular season game for the Carmel Greyhounds, the last time that these seniors will be playing on this court. And I don't care how much emphasis Coach Osmond has put on it. It's hard not to be emotional when it's the last. The number of hours of practice, number of hours of hard work and games they played on this court, it may be in the back of their mind. They got to block that out and focus. And for both ball clubs, I understand that Attucks has 2 more games after tonight, but don't look ahead. This time of year, everybody's talking about the sectional. You just handled the draw there a couple of days ago. you and Kyle did a great job, by the way, on that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And when that draw comes out, most of the teams have a little get-together, and all of a sudden, no matter what you say, we got one more game or two more games to play. They're thinking about that sectional draw. They got to block that out, and the team that's able to do that really has a leg up on the success.
Carmel heading back to the locker room. Crispus Attucks will join them momentarily. And again, since it is senior night, sometimes you see a little bit of a different lineup. It'll be a slight change for Carmel. Jermichael Fountain will go into the starting lineup, but normally he is the first player off of the bench. The 4 seniors really are the top 6 players, or at least 4 of their top 7 players, so the rotation will not change in all that dramatic of a fashion for the Carmel Greyhounds this evening, as again Fountain gets the nod to join the starting at 5 tonight, which means that the player that will be that will normally be starting would be Aiden Dickerson. But believe me, he will get in the lineup quickly because he just might be the best defensive assignment on Dejon Hall for Carmel.
You know, from a coach's philosophy, I always worried about that. If you had 2 or 3 underclassmen in the starting lineup, okay, I'm going to put 3 seniors that have not started in there. I think it's great for them to honor their career and the opportunity to start. But if you're playing a real competitive game that night, you don't want to go out and get behind 8 or 10 points. In this case, it doesn't matter because it only involves 1 player. But a lot of nights, if you've got 3 guys out there and you don't want to play them 1 minute, you like to give them 3 to 5 minutes.
Dave's last key was don't look ahead. He meant the players, not us. We'll look ahead to our next 2 games coming up this week on My Indy TV. And we'll welcome a brand new sponsor for tonight's game. We'll talk more about the sectional in which Crispus Attucks is playing and where they are playing it at when we come back. We are less than 10 minutes away from tip-off here at the Eric Clark Activity Center and Bill Shepherd Court. And you're watching on ISC and My Indy TV.
This is Molly. She loves road trips, hikes, her dog Max, and cars that fit her lifestyle. Like this cool new ride that she got with help from Indiana Members Credit Union at a great low rate. And for when she's on the go, IMCU makes it easy for her to pay from anywhere thanks to their digital banking. Looks like Molly is really getting the max from her credit union.
Again, senior night for the Carmel Greyhounds. We mentioned Jermichael Fountain will get the starting nod. Again, he's going to play at Manchester next year, and he's the 6th man for this Carmel club. Evan Harrell is probably the star of the group for this Carmel team. He's headed to play at Bellarmine, and again, we think he's going to be an Indiana All-Star. Julian Vogt has had a wonderful senior year for Carmel. He has not committed yet, but he has just picked up an offer from Indiana Wesleyan, which is the 3rd best team in the IA rankings in the country, and Greg Tonical has won multiple national championships up at Marion. And Ben Bremer has had a fantastic 3-year run here at Carmel. So it's a very decorated senior class getting recognized here at Carmel. We want to recognize one of our brand new sponsors. That is our friends at Cluster Truck. So I begin this segment by asking a key question. Are you hungry, Carmel basketball fans? Cluster Truck is Indy's go-to pickup and delivery kitchen, and they're opening in Carmel this Friday. Although, you know what? They decided to open up for us tonight. So pay attention, folks. From pizza to pad thai, salads to house-made chips and salsa, they crush every craving. And delivery, it's always free because that's what they do. Order now at clustertruck.com and use the code ISC for $5 off orders of $20 or more. If there was a state championship for food delivery, our friends at Cluster Truck would win that too. Cluster Truck, now serving Carmel. I'll see if I can keep Dave's focus on the game, not thinking about delivery food.
They're going to be open after the game?
Absolutely. I got the owner's number. I'll have you call. We'll take care of you. You will be in good shape. First of 3 games this week on ISC and My Indy TV. And this game on the schedule. Last couple we kind of added. We had some snow games that cost us some scheduling, so chance for us to take our cameras some different places. Tomorrow night, Centerville is at Pendleton Heights. Centerville, one of the top 10 teams in 2A all season long. They have won 20 games, have the Centerville Bulldogs. They will take on Pendleton Heights, and Pendleton Heights has had a resurgent year. Their top player in Cooper Sims is going to play at St. Francis in Fort Wayne next year. John Herrick and Brady Laurie will have the coverage beginning at 7:30 tomorrow night. It'll be senior night for the Arabians, but they've had their best boys season in some time up in southern Madison County. The other game that we have added to our schedule on Thursday night, we are often at the Southport Fieldhouse. We have a chance to see the Southport Cardinals all that much. We will get to see Ben Rhodes and their star player and James Kalala as they take on Lawrence Central. We had Lawrence Central last week against Pike. It wasn't a 30-point game. It was at the end of it. It wasn't during the course of it, but Pike was the better team that night. LC may just be the best team that could potentially dethrone LN in Sectional 10. That is at Tech High School. I'll be joined by Cliff Hawkins on that broadcast Thursday evening on ISC and My Indy TV. Senior night for the Cardinals that night as well. Dave and I, and especially Dave, did a great job of breaking down the action at the sectional at the Mill that will take place next week, that we'll have for you all week long on the ISC Sports Network. Well, the other one I wanted to make sure that we shared with you was Attucks sectional. And we talked about the fact that they were drawn opposite Cathedral, but here is the full bracket. And again, Attucks is the host, but they're going to play it at Broad Ripple, what is now middle school. Cathedral and Shortridge have the first game Tuesday at 6. Purdue Poly downtown will take on Chittard Tuesday at 7:30. Heron awaits the winner of Cathedral and Shortridge. Attucks awaits the winner of Purdue Poly and Bishop Chittard. And again, not to slight anybody involved, but Dave, that's probably the best possible draw that Attucks could have had.
They're opposite Cathedral.
Correct.
That's very big.
You opposite Cathedral, and you get a bye. That works out well for the Crispus Attucks Tires. We'll go ahead and get a 60-second break out of it. We'll come back. We'll show you tonight's national anthem, starting lineups and more. When we come back to the Eric Clark Activity Center, moments away from tipping this one off on ISC and My Indy TV.
At the University of Indianapolis, your education is just the beginning. Small class sizes means that everyone gets to know you, your goals, your dreams, and your vision for the future. UIndy empowers you with real-world, hands-on learning projects that transforms your potential into purpose. And it's just minutes from downtown Indianapolis, connecting you to our alumni network, internships, and careers. How's that for opportunity? So, are you in? Your future begins at the University of Indianapolis.
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left.
Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it.
That's the finish. You get a layup to take it. And an and one. Fly ball. Out of here. Our national anthem before this evening's contest here at Carmel. Time now to announce our starting lineups for this evening's game. And we mentioned the fact that Dejan Hall obviously is the star attraction for Crispus Attucks, the 6'3 senior, 29 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists a game, shooting 59% from the floor, 40% from three-point range, and 75% from the free throw line. Jameer Davis, 6-foot senior, 10.5 points, 3.5 rebounds a game, 3.5 assists a contest. Shoots 42% from three-point range and 80% from the line. Corday Hill, a 6'3 junior, 5.9 points a game, 4.5 rebounds a contest, and 39% from three-point range. Markale Gray is the starting center. Markale is a 6'4 junior, 4.5 points and 6 rebounds a game. And Blessed Thomas rounds out the starting five, a 6-foot junior, 11 points and 4 rebounds a contest. Again for the Carmel Greyhounds, 4 seniors and starting point guard Cash Daniels get the nod for Ryan Osborne's team tonight. Daniels and Harrell each had 16 points in the loss to Warren Central on Friday night. Julian Vogt, a quiet night for what he has done this season. Took just 3 shots, had 5 points in total, did Julian. Ben Bremer had 3 points in that game, as did Jamichael Fountain. Carmel has played, usually 7 players will see significant time and maybe a handful of minutes for players 8 and 9. And we talked about how Vogt's game has blossomed, but the obvious difference for Carmel this year is adding Cash Daniels from Cathedral has completely changed how this team plays.
They needed a point guard. They got one, and they got a very, very good one. And I think I was talking to the athletic director, Jimmy Inskeep, about that. He has really settled in and advanced since the opening of the season. He's still working on time management, and one area that he is really working on is staying out of foul trouble. We had him a week ago, and at a critical time, a team was pressing. He got 4th fouls. Coach Osborne took him out, going to preserve that 5th foul because he's going to need him in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Well, he put him back in 20 seconds. He got his 5th foul, and Jimmy Inskeep said he was talking to him in the hall the next day, and he says, "Could we have a talk?" And he says, I know.
Our 3-man officiating crew, Mason Atha, Corey Furman, and Byron Davis, handling this regular season finale. You were in the land of Atha last night checking out the action at Benton Central, were you not?
I watched it, yes. And his father, Dick Atha, was part of the time he was my athletic director at Benton Central, and part of the time he was my principal. What a great guy. And this young man, probably knee-high at that time. But he's turned out, according to you, you've seen him more than I have, pretty good referee.
One of the best officials we have in Central Indiana. Carmel has the basketball. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday evening on ISC and My Indy TV. Fountain averages about 4 points a game. Again, he plays a lot. He's coming off the bench. If you give Daniels that easy of a look, it's going to be a long night for Attucks.
He loves that pull-up from medium range. He's very quick up with it and a soft release.
Daniels that draws a defensive assignment on Hall. And Thomas and Davis both average double digits per game. And Jameer Davis, 42% from three-point range. Coach talked about the fact that Attucks has won 9 of their last 10, and they have won their last 6. And that one loss was Cecina.
Attucks have gone to a 2-3 zone.
And there's not the size that Attucks has become accustomed to with having Desmond Briscoe patrolling the paint each of the last 4 years.
And you would think that 2-3 has a lot to do with keeping Harold from catching the basketball down low.
But he catches on the weak side glass, and then, delayed whistle with the right call. Steps called. He jumped up and then came back down. Carmel averaging about 11 turnovers a game this year. You'll see some full court pickup, which you hadn't seen from Carmel in years gone by.
And most of this type of press is to slow Attucks down. It's not really double teaming or shooting in the passing lanes. Control the tempo of the game.
And that will be steps called.
Got the ball trapped on his hip, and that was a good call too. The defender trapped the ball. Well, there's a 2-2-1 full court press by Attucks.
Easy to drive back into a 2-3 from this defense. And again, this is actually probably more designed just to slow things down a bit. In the years gone by, Carmel would race you to 40. Now they're one to score in the 60s. Attucks normally wants to go quicker. They may not tonight. Vogt in the corner, and again, in this building, that's like a layup. Julian Vogt, north of 50% from three-point range this season. First made three for Carmel.
All the Greyhounds have improved, but none more than Vogt throughout the course of from this last year to this year.
Trying to use Daniel's speed to match that of Hall. He'll have a bit of a length advantage being guarded by Daniels. And that's going to be a foul called against Julian Vogt.
That's a nice drive by Hill. Used his body to lean into the defender, which is a legal move to draw the foul.
So Corday Hill to the free throw line, doesn't get there very often. 11 of 17 on the season. What a run Attucks has had under the leadership of Chris Hawkins. He has won 188 games in 10 years at Attucks. And here's a statement that'll get your attention. He has passed Ray Crow as the winningest head coach in Crispus Attucks history.
And everybody in Indiana knows what a feat that is, what a legend Ray Crow was.
So Hill makes them both. Chris led Attucks to a 3A championship in his first year in 2017. Runners up to South Bend St. Joe last year. Spent 5 years in 4A where they were very competitive, but could never land that sectional title. Harrell through contact, score it.
Nice job of finding Harrell down behind the zone along the baseline. Good, strong finish.
Not sure how much zone we see from Attucks on a regular basis. Might just be for tonight. Gray, the reverse layup, right idea, just couldn't finish it. And Harrell is going to be fouled. So Thomas with the foul. Thomas, a 6-foot junior. Second leading scorer at 11 points a game. Daniel splits the zone, and that's too easy from the Attucks perspective as Jamichael Fountain is the fourth different player to get a bucket so far for Carmel.
It's 2 times in a row Carmel's been able to get the ball in the high post against that zone and hit them high-low, down, sliding a offensive player along the baseline.
Hall has yet to score. Vogt from the other side, different result. But again, Fountain, good job on the track down. Daniels can knock that shot down, but he is more apt to drive first.
Excellent ball movement by the Greyhounds. They've got to find a way, and they've done it a couple of times already, to get the ball inside.
And Attucks has junked the zone already there. Now to a man-to-man. And get a turnover. Was there a touch there, or is there a foul going to be called?
Yes.
Yes. Hold going to be called against the Tigers. Jameer Davis going to be whistled for the foul.
Jameer Davis with the Crispus Attucks foul.
Take a look.
Inserts team second in the quarter.
Bremer releases. That does not go. Bremer's the only Carmel player that has yet to score so far. On the drive, Thomas no. Hall the rebound. Shot blocked. Attucks could not maintain possession. And Attucks won this game a year ago. Third consecutive year these two teams have played each other. 30-second timeout called by Carmel. This 30-second timeout presented by Main Street Barbershop, a barbershop that's so good it's named after a street that it's no longer on. Now located 116th Street and Keystone Parkway. Look for the Christopher Walk-In sign that says that walk-ins are always welcome. Get it? Matt Stoger is Carmel's barber to the stars, but regular folks get their hair cut there too. Main Street Barbershop, a classic barbershop for the modern family. If you're Ryan Osborne, why call the timeout there?
You know, he does that often. That's not, most high school coaches, they try to save those timeouts and preserve them, but Ryan sees something early. He wants to take advantage of it. It's not unusual for him to take an early timeout and redirect, and we'll see what he does.
Of course,
one thing he'll point out is the switching defenses. You got to recognize when it's man and when it's zone that they're going against.
Ryan played at IUPUI for Ron Hunter. He's got a couple of former teammates on the opposite bench from tonight, Chris Scott and David Barlow.
Third different defense. They're 1-3-1 by the Attucks now. Should find people open along the baseline, what they call short corner.
Daniels fires from the wing and misses, but again, Harrell gets inside position, and when you don't play a lot of zone, rebounding out of it can be a problem.
That's the downfall. The good point is you can keep your players out of foul trouble generally, and you can plug that free throw lane and not give them easy baskets in the middle.
You see the quickness that Hall has in terms of getting downhill. And again, that was with his opposite hand. He's a left-handed player. So he's fouled. Bremer commits the infraction. And Hall will shoot 2.
76%.
The good scorers don't waste points at the line, Coach.
No. Nope.
They knock them down.
And when you're averaging 29 points, I think that puts you in the good player category.
Yes, that's beyond good player. Dejan knocks them both down. Just one made field goal so far for Attucks. They have made 4 from the line, and they trail by 4. Third consecutive year these teams have played. Carmel won here 2 years ago.
They've got Harold in short corner to short corner, and he flashes high post.
Ball deflected and taken away by Attucks. Fountain on the hustle, on the crash, couldn't hang on to it. Missed opportunity. Second Carmel turnover. Now back to a man-to-man, yep.
Right.
Fountain lets fire for 3 and connects. Second made, triple, both by seniors so far. And of note, we have not seen Dickerson yet. He'll come in eventually. But Fountain at least getting the first 5+ minutes of this game as a starter.
Seems to me that Fountain's going to make that senior start.
Yep.
Very well. He's not only has 5 points, but he's playing good defense, and he's already got a couple of rebounds.
And he's really like almost like a 6th starter for this
Absolutely.
team anyway.
Yep.
Now it's Harrell. Hall shoots over him and misses. So Hall is yet to find the range from the floor. Fountain is good again. Having a senior night to remember. Fountain's got 8. And it will be another 30-second timeout taken by Coach Hawkins. So Fountain steps into a 3. He's got now 8 of the Carmel 17. This 30-second timeout presented by Brady Laurie and Laurie Law. Brady has been serving the citizens of Marion, Johnson, surrounding counties for over 25 years. If you or someone you know is in criminal trouble or has been injured, make the call to Brady for a consultation. Let Brady put his negotiating skills, criminal experience to work for you. Call 317-250-7783 or email BradyJLaurie@gmail.com. Brady Laurie, your criminal defense and personal injury trial lawyer.
Attucks only has, as you mentioned, 1 basket from the field. It was a 3-pointer, but so far, Carmel has a lot of success in keeping Hall from getting to the basket.
And again, this is not the Attucks team of the last couple of years. They're still a ranked team in 3A, but not the firepower they have had in years gone by. If you put stock into the Sagarin ratings, the Tigers check in at number 76 this week. They have been, frankly, top 10, top 20 for most of the last several years. Now a little zone look here by Carmel.
That was a nice timeout call by Osmond, took advantage of it. He jumped into a 1-2-2 trapping defense.
Can't give Hall the baseline. Kicks out for a 3 that does not go. But Gray, again, gets 6 of those a contest. Leads to a 3 that goes. Knocked home by Corday Hill. So again, Davis shoots 42% from 3, Hill 39. 7-point game, less than a minute to go in the quarter. Carmel turns it over for a third time. Good take by Thomas, no. Chris Hawkins wanted contact on that.
Pull up.
Yeah, Vogt just kept going until somebody stopped him, and nobody stopped him.
Nobody stopped him, and he just pulled up. Nice little touch shot.
His first 2-point field goal. About 10 points a contest is what Julian has averaged this season. He now has the option to play collegially if so chooses, and Aldous had that one ripped right away by Bremer. Hounds in transition. Vogt turns down the three for a moment, steps to the side and knocks it down. 22 in the quarter by Carmel. That was a half in the old days.
Carmel came up, threw the ball to the left side, got
Daniels.
I thought we was going to see a game buster there.
Didn't miss that one by much. Let's finish that thought when we come back from this timeout. A splendid start for the home team on senior night. It is Carmel 22 and Crispus Attucks 10. We're back in 60 seconds on ISC and My TV.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman.
Oh, my goodness. 122-6-0 for Penn.
What a swim! Six of them.
You want to be peaking at the right time, and even though Carmel's had a couple of hiccups, the way they have played in the first quarter looks to be that. Chris Hawkins.
And Carmel did that without Harold and without Daniels doing too much. Both has 8, as does Fountain for the Greyhounds.
Dickerson and Nover come in. Fountain and Bremer take a seat.
So far, Carmel's done a nice job of controlling Hall. He has 2 free throws.
On the drive, good take. Blessed Thomas gets his first field goal and first 2-point field goal for Attucks. That's not a 2, that's also not a made 3, but Harrell goes and tracks it down. Harrell averaging in the neighborhood of 8 boards a contest this year. Nover in the lane, the miss. Good look ahead pass, and Thomas will throw it down. Back-to-back buckets for the Tigers.
Attucks has demonstrated their quickness, and I think you'll see that often. They'll try to fly down the court and get a quick basket, so defense by Carmel doesn't have a chance to set up.
Man-to-man this time down. We've documented the variety of defense that we've seen from Attucks so far. Carmel's had an answer for any permutation to this point. Daniels. Nice job to make something out of nothing in midair.
Dickerson saved that. Chase tracked it down, tipped it.
Harrell in the corner. Nover. And Hall, it's off of Nover. It'll be Attucks basketball. And again, Attucks is going to struggle to rebound against a team with more size in Carmel. But again, the rebounding out of the zone has been an issue more so than the man.
And Attucks is really playing to their strength. They're using their quickness, doing a good job of deflecting a pass and making it tough for Carmel to get an open shot.
Chance to make it 6 or 7 in a row here for the Tigers to start the quarter. Gray lost the handle. 4th Attucks giveaway. Daniels, good recovery. Knocked out of bounds by Corday Hill.
If you weren't looking at the scoreboard, you would think Carmel has a really big lead. It's really an 8-point lead. which is not huge. Attucks in the middle of a nice run.
Vogt off the catch.
He does that so well.
Third triple by Julian Vogt. As we said, just picked up an offer from Indiana Wesleyan. This is 11. Lead is 11. Now it's 9 as Corday Hill with a degree of difficulty. And credit Attucks, they're finding points from players not named Dejan Hall. Daniels, that was blocked, but Harrell able to track it down. Couldn't power his way through. And here comes Attucks. And flying down the floor. Not the way it was drawn up, but it'll work just fine. And another timeout taken by Ryan Osborne. It is a full timeout, but we will keep it right here. Folks, I want to remind you that Hoosier Basketball Magazine is available now. In fact, one member of our broadcast crew made sure that another member of the broadcast crew had his commemorative copy today. The 2025-2026 edition can be ordered by mail. Or you can email HoosierBBLLMag@att.net. You can call /text 317-925-8200. You can purchase this year's edition via Venmo or Cash App payments. There may be a digital version of the magazine available for purchase in addition to the traditional printed magazine. Dave, how many copies of Hoosier Basketball Magazine would you assume you've got in your collection?
Probably a dozen or more. But back, Gary Donna, of course, got the thing going and really pushed it. And he would ship you about 25 or 30 or 40 to each school and expect you to sell them.
Right.
Of course, he split a little bit of the profit. Very little, knowing Donna, but, but a little bit of the profit with the schools. But he just kept the thing going, and they've done a nice job. And I know it's hard to get all the information in early, but if they could back that delivery date up a month or two when the season's just getting going. But a lot of people want to keep it, you mentioned earlier, as a keepsake. So they'll still move some magazines.
The prize one I have in my collection, Dave, is from my senior year of high school, which I can tell you is more than 3 decades ago at this point. So Attucks back within 7. Last bucket by Davis. He's got 5.
They're doing a nice job of pushing Harrell off the block instead of getting it way down low. He made that on his own, but they're forced him to catch it about 10 feet out.
Harrell was 6. And Attucks ranked number 7 in 3A this week. Good find in the corner. Donnell Dawson, 5'7" freshman, and he got tackled by Dickerson, which works well for Mr. Dickerson through November since he's a football player.
He's had practicing on tackles.
Yeah. Dawson will shoot 2.
You know, I'll give Hall credit. The defense is really trying to keep him from getting an open look, and he's not forcing it. He's finding his teammates and moving the basketball.
Adler Cole checks in. Reference the ranking for Attucks. Carmel, after those couple of losses in the last couple of weeks, dropped officially out of the top 10 in 4A. They're number 11. Coaches poll, the one-class poll, has them at number 10. One free throw good, the other one not so much. Blessed Thomas tips it out of bounds. So Attucks has found some rhythm offensively. It's on the defensive end that Tigers yet to really find an answer to slow down Carmel. By the way, since we're giving you the rankings, let's include the Sagarin ratings. Jeff's ranking still like the Carmel Greyhounds, number 5 in the Sagarin.
Attucks really doing a nice job with their defense on keeping that ball outside, because Carmel clearly would like to take it down in there more often than they're getting it done. Half hook.
Harrell was listening. This couldn't finish. Good hustle by Dickerson. It's what he does. Does all the little things for the Hounds. 7 or 8 points a game, 5 or 6 rebounds a contest. Nover fires and misses. Good hands by Davis. A bucket here makes it a 2-score game. And it's a 5-guard look here for Attucks. That's going to be a foul on Bremer. Be Ben's second foul. Attucks last year had players go to IU South Bend, William Penn, IU Columbus, Marion, and Kent State. It happens when you're 22-7 to make a state championship game. 13 straight winning seasons for the Tigers. The pull-up is good by Corday Hill, and now Chris Hawkins will take a timeout. And this will also be another full timeout. Now, we mentioned this to start the contest, but you've probably gotten hungry since then, right? So if we asked you, are you hungry, Carmel basketball fans, your answer would be yes. Well, how do you fix that? When you use our friends at Cluster Truck. Now, if you've been around the Indianapolis area, you've heard of Cluster Truck before. But folks, they're now open in Carmel. In fact, their official opening is Friday night, but their soft launch is happening right now. From pizza to pad thai, salads to house-made chips and salsa, they crush every craving. And delivery, well, that's what they do. It's always free. Order now at clustertruck.com. Be sure to use the promo code ISC. You order $20 or more, you get $5 back. Cluster Truck, now serving Carmel. I want to thank Jim Inskeep, Jeff Hester, Mike Hash, Greg Orr, John Boss, all the great folks at Carmel that are so kind to us. We're here for every home football game and every boys basketball game. And again, this is the last regular season game that Carmel will play as an independent. We'll be back in the MIC as of next year. Both teams have used 2 timeouts so far in the game.
Nice job, because they know Daniels loves to take that 1 or 2 dribbles and get to the free throw line for that soft jump shot. They cut him off very well. Attucks is really scratching and clawing on defense. They're getting after it.
Defenders stumbled for a moment. Couldn't find Nover.
Great spin move.
Tremendous footwork by Evan. Harrell's got 8. All the points have come from 4 players for Carmel. You take out Daniels' 2 points. The rest have come from 3. Speaking of 3, one fired from the corner. Taken and missed by Jameer Davis. Dickerson left alone. That does not go.
It was so tempting. He was wide open. He hesitated. Should I or should I not? Why not?
Hall in the open court, off his knee. Turned over by Attucks. Gray will check back in. Dawson will check back in. Dover will have a seat for Carmel as Fountain returns. And Attucks at Roncalli on Thursday. They're potentially a sectional level team, are the Royals this year in 3A. They're going to deal with a good Shelbyville team in their group, and New Pal's always a tough out.
Shelbyville's having a very good year. They've been down a little bit, but they've had a great season.
Ball tipped, last touch by Attucks. Believe it or not, a lot of the stuff that I say for the pairing show, well, A, it's accurate, but B, by about 2 days out, I've like flushed it out of my head. Without looking at the notes, I think it's been 25 years since Shelbyville has won a boys basketball sectional.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
And they've had some very good coaches there. A great friend of mine, John Heaton, coached there several years.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer, had good teams. And it's good to see them come back. They've got a wonderful gymnasium.
Oh, my goodness, yes. He's ready to say the same thing to Bill Garrett Gym. Gray at the other end does not go. Shot was blocked to lead to that opportunity, but Attucks has missed a couple of looks in transition.
Yeah, I think Gray should have gone up, even though Harold's there at 6'8". Go up and challenge him a little bit. Put your chest into your body into his chest.
Hall's 3 does not go, and again, he's struggling. Just 2 points. Chance for Carmel to go back to being a double-digit lead, led by 12 to start the quarter. Daniels with just enough space, couldn't get it to go. That's going to be a foul on Dickerson.
Yeah.
Good take by Thomas.
Thomas did a nice job again creating the contact, and that was the correct call.
Thomas, a 60% free throw shooter. Attucks team, their losses. Lawrence North, North Central. That's a game we did on the ISC Sports Network. Liberty Christian, Gary 21st Century, and Cecina. Cecina's having a really good year. They won their league this year, the Indiana Crossroads Conference. Thomas connects.
Carmel had the burst there in the first quarter and created a nice little cushion, but they haven't been able to expand on it. Give Attucks a lot of credit. They're scratching and clawing on the defensive end, and they're attacking on the offensive end.
Thomas the miss. Attucks is a squad 67% from the line. They're better than that tonight. They're 6 of 8 so far. In years gone by, you knew that Carmel was going to hold for one here. That may or may not be the case with this group. Just 7 points in the quarter for Carmel. Attucks has peeled back 5 points of what was a 12-point lead.
I think they will hold for one. One thing, looking ahead to tournaments, I think most coaches will do that.
Oh, yes.
You get down to 30 seconds, you got the ball, use the clock up. The other team cannot score when they don't have the ball.
And a hold going to be called against Attucks. But frankly, for Attucks, that wasn't their intention. But it's also their first foul of the quarter. That's not the worst thing in the world. Only bit of bad news, that's on Jameer Davis. That's his second. So you've got more fouls to give here if you're Attucks, if you want to go that direction. Daniels.
He's going to basket.
He dishes. Harrell couldn't catch it, and that will be that. Well, Attucks is hanging around, but Carmel will take a 7-point lead to halftime here at the Eric Clark Activity Center. A good one to start to wind down the regular season. Halftime show comes your way in 2 minutes as you're watching on ISC and by Indy TV.
There are many ways to judge the quality of a college or university. At Wabash, we are proud of being nationally ranked in so many measures of quality. The engagement of our students with their faculty, the exceptional classroom experience, the unbeatable internship program and alumni network. It's easy to see how we earn our reputation as one of the best colleges in the country. We are proud of our rankings, but come see for yourself. Schedule a visit today at wabash.edu.
Calling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is good. There you go. Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
Wrestler! Wrestler!
Whoa!
Hey, it's Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And each and every week in podcast form, video form from the ISC Sports Network, we do Query and Schultz, brought to you by Bailey and Wood, the fine folks south side of Indianapolis, but serving all of central Indiana for the best mortgage rates.
And, of course, we record right here at Chili Water Brewing Tap Room and our friends at Hoagies and Hops, 42nd and Boulevard, right here in Indianapolis. We're talking Colts, we're talking Pacers, we're talking Hoosiers, we're talking Boilers, and we're hanging with you.
We talk the tall and the short of it, right, is what we do.
Whatever, man. Every Tuesday night, 7:30, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
A solid, beyond solid, first quarter by Carmel. Second quarter, not as much on the offensive end. Attucks started to cut back into that Carmel lead. 7 points the advantage for the Greyhounds on their senior night in their regular season finale. Greg Rakestraw, Dave Nicholson with you on ISC and my Indy TV. Coach, your thoughts what we saw from both teams in half number one?
Carmel, excellent first quarter, getting 22 points. Attucks, an excellent second quarter. They picked up 22 points and actually outscored the Greyhounds in the second quarter. The amazing thing is that Carmel has created a nice 7-point lead, and Hall has been kept in check. He only has 4 points. He's the one averaging 29 a game, but give Thomas credit. He stepped up with 5. Hill got 7, and Davis got 5. So they're getting a good balance over here. In the Carmel bracket, Harold has 8, Voigt has 11, and Fountain 8. So Daniels only has 1 2-point field goal, and that's unusual for him. He averages 15 points a game, as you know. But I've been really impressed with the scratching and clawing defense of Attucks. Carmel's had a little success getting the ball inside, but not a great deal, and certainly they want to do that with Harold down in there. So I have to give Attucks credit, and certainly it's still a ball game, only a 7-point margin. The way the game started, we thought, it could be a wide 15, 20-point differential at halftime. Hasn't happened.
Attucks hanging around. Carmel leads it by 7. We'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, Wabash College halftime trivia and our first half highlights as you're watching on ISC and My Indy TV.
We build kids up from the ground up. It's not so much about where you're at.
In most programs in Indiana, it's teams and it's games, and it's teams and it's games.
They're playing in a bunch of games and not really having any type of system or structure to their routine, to their development, to their growth.
Trying to find more of a balance, more trainings, less games, skill development, basketball IQ.
Accountability. Once you walk through those doors, energy and effort's on you, the individual.
4 to 5 days a week, really trying to build a player that is prepared for going into their middle schools, going into their high schools and beyond.
You have objective criteria you have to meet to move on to the next class. That gives kids a sense of dedication to work to get towards something.
We're not here chasing rankings. We're trying to develop basketball players.
So you should not worry about getting ranked at such a young age.
We're going to push you to limits that you probably didn't know you can get to.
It's about the work ethic and less about the rankings and the notoriety. We want you to get a well-rounded basketball education.
Got fouled, got the dunk, got the poster, and gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away, and he puts it away.
Halftime rolls along here inside the Eric Clark Activity Center. Greg Rakestraw, Dave Nicholson with you on ISC and My Indy TV. And it's time for Wabash College halftime trivia. The Little Giants are playing right now to keep their season going in the NCAC tournament. It is not going well for the Little Giants. They are losing at Wittenberg by a score of 66-46 with 5:14 left to play. So they may not add to the total of the question I'm about to ask Dave. How many times has Wabash won the NCAC tournament since joining the league in 1999? Again, this is different than regular season titles. This is the conference tournament. Have they done so once, 3 times, 5 times, or 7 times?
I think 5.
Well, maybe in a couple of years the answer will be 5. Right now the answer is 3. The Little Giants won the league tournament 3 straight seasons from 2022 to 24. I like your optimism, though.
You're killing me, my average.
We're going to grade on the curve this year. It's just fine. Schedule a visit to Wabash anytime where they don't grade on the curve when you log on to wabash.edu. Let's show you our first half highlights. Dave did a great job of kind of talking about what the scoring was, so I'll ask him to kind of X and O it here. If you're either coach, Dave, what changes do you try to implement in half number 2?
If I'm Coach Hawkins, of course, I try to try a couple of things to get Hall going, because you got to have him scoring some for them to win this basketball game. And give Carmel credit, they're doing a nice job. I thought the switching defenses by Attucks, they went zone, they went 1-3-1, they went 2-3, they went man-to-man, and I thought that was pretty effective. And what has really been effective, they got to keep the ball out of the red area, and they've done a pretty good job of that. On the other end, if I'm Coach Osborne, I'm designing something to get. You're not going to, the way Attucks playing the defense, you're not going to get a lot of good drives all the way to the ring, but you're going to have to pass the ball in there, draw the defense, and then kick it out. And Carmel's got to hit the open 3. If they do, they'll be in good shape.
29-22 is our score. Carmel has the lead. They'll have the basketball when we come back, as you're watching the Greyhounds, the Tigers of Crispus Attucks on ISC and MyIndy TV.
This is Molly. She loves road trips, hikes, her dog Max, and cars that fit her lifestyle, like this cool new ride that she got with help from Indiana Members Credit Union at a great low rate. And for when she's on the go, IMCU makes it easy for her to pay from anywhere thanks to their digital banking. Looks like Molly is really getting the max from her credit union.
Man, if I meet Braden Smith and Pig, he's never going to live that down.
Dude, don't get your hopes up. Hey, Adam, it's your turn.
Oh, sorry, guys, gotta take this. All right, Braden, go easy on me.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
I guess for every hour, there really is Banks and Brower.
Whether it's criminal, family, personal injury, or immigration law.
You can call them anytime. Sorry, got a call.
Sorry.
Brewer Jim's at home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness.
122-6-0 for Penn.
Oh, what a swim. Six of them.
Shot at the buzzer. Got it! She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Hello! Did it again. Hello! Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello! There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow. This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
Back inside the Eric Clark Activity Center and on Bill Shepherd Court. Thanks for joining us on ISC and MyIndy TV. Thanks to Jacob Kripe, Alex Laverne, David Jones, Charlie Hammock, and Vince Morales. Congratulations to the Marion women's team. They easily bested Grace 102-54 tonight. We'll now see them against Indiana Wesleyan coming up on Friday night in the Crossroads League tournament. Catch that at iscsportsnetwork.com. Daniels, no. He had the first bucket of the game. Hasn't scored since. But Carmel has led almost the entire way. Nice spin and bucket by Blessed Thomas.
Outstanding little spin move, left him wide open.
And again, I'll go back to the loss against Hamilton Southeastern. Carmel led that game by 17 at halftime and couldn't close the deal. Against Warren Central, Carmel led by 11 at halftime. Couldn't close the deal. They did against Providence after a long road trip to New Albany on Saturday. And there is Thomas with back-to-back buckets, and all of a sudden, Coach, it's a three-point game.
Thomas taking it on himself to get his team going.
ISO for Harrell. And Harrell poked away but recovers. Bremer for three. His first bucket. All five starters now have scored for Carmel.
Carmel's going to get the three because Attucks is paying so much attention to Harold inside. Anytime he touches the ball, there's a double team. That leaves somebody open on the perimeter.
Foul before the shot on Evan Harrell on the hand check. Very much a limited foul game. In fact, Carmel has not shot a free throw tonight. Attucks is 6 of 8 from the line. And the two teams split their meetings the last 2 years. First year, this has been the season finale for Carmel. Good take. Daniels on the flyby, just enough to throw off Davis. Ball tipped. How about that save? Went right to Harrell, who got the bucket. Harrell now joins Vogt with those in double figures with 10.
There's a foul.
No call. Two-player down for each side. We play 4-on-4. Daniels fouled on the floor by Hall. Coach Hawkins having a conversation with Corey Furman about the no call at the other end. Vogt off the inbounds pass, no. Harrell, tough rebound. They'll wave off the shot. He was fouled. Gray will be the guilty party.
Well, Harold's having to fight a double team every time he catches the ball down low. And he's been pretty strong with it. That time he says they're not going to get it from me without committing the foul. That's one of the many ways that Harold has improved greatly. He operates down low. He can make the two-dribble move from the foul line.
Bremer's floater is good. So it didn't score in the first half. Bremer's got 5, averaged about 7 or 8 points a ball game. And Carmel, they're off after this for 10 days. Hall fouled, and they'll give him the bucket. His first field goal. Chance for the and one.
I think you're going to see Hall force the issue a little bit, and I think he should. You know, he's got so many moves and so much ability with the basketball in his hands. He needs to kind of take over a little bit.
So back to what it was at halftime, a 7-point game. And that's going to be a foul. That'll be on Davis. That'll be his third. So he is the first player to have 3 fouls in tonight's game.
Davis with the Crispus Attucks foul.
Hall, the leading scorer in the state. That's just 5 for Attucks tonight. He's 2/10 point against Blake Neal, who has been the all-time leading scorer at Bloomfield since the end of last year. Daniels on the drive, missed it. Harrell on the crash, couldn't hang on. Out of bounds to Attucks.
Excellent drive there by Daniels. Put it up a little strong on the reverse layup.
Davis with 3 fouls will check out.
Carmel's going to show a little 2-2-1 press of their own. Again, I think that's more to slow people down than it is try to steal.
Good take. The pull-up is good by Thomas.
That's just really, really good basketball by Thomas.
Thomas with 11. So a mix of man and zone from Attucks in the first half. It's been all man so far since halftime. Found the reverse layup, no. Harrell fights to keep it alive. Thomas rips it away. Chance to make it a 1-score game. Hall the step through and bucket. Hall with 7.
That's the type of play we expected out of him, and all of a sudden it's a 3-point game.
Carmel has led since midway through the opening quarter. Bremer again. Well, in the first half, it was Vogt. In the second half, it's Bremer. Between Vogt, Bremer, and Fountain, a combined 7 made threes for the Hounds tonight.
Carmel's got about 5 or 6 different guys that can hit the three. And we mentioned at halftime, they're going to have to take those threes because Attucks is not giving much space to operate in the lane.
Hall in the lane, give it to him. The law of averages is catching up. When you're an above-average player, you got a rough half. You usually pick it up in half number 2. That's happening here with Dejon Hall.
You're right. Hall's catching up, and the law of averages is catching up, but it's Hall that's catching up too. He's taking over. And we thought he would. I mean, you don't average 29 points and end up with only a halftime having 4.
I think Attucks plays a really competitive schedule. You're doing that against some good teams. So Hall now at 10, Thomas 11, Hill 9, and it's back to a 3-point game. Dickerson returns. Fountain has a seat. Nover is in the game. Bremer sits with 3 fouls. Vogt was probably too unselfish there.
Yep, he had a nice little floater there, about 3 foot. He thought he'd get Harold a better look.
For the tie, Hall the step back. Making up for lost time, and we're tied at 39. And here comes the timeout by Ryan Osborne again. Holding a second half lead has suddenly become an issue for Carmel. We'll see if it's a 30 or a full that is being taken here. It is a full timeout. We'll step aside. Back in 60 seconds on ISC at My Indy TV.
Never let the world dictate who you are, what your why is. Failure isn't possible as long as you believe in your why. This adventure is yours. Create it. Make it yours. Make it powerful. Make it count. Create your own adventure. S.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is caught.
There you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That is Wrestler! Wrestler!
Whoa!
Back at Carmel, and Attucks right back in it. They have tied this game for the first time. It was tied at 5 points apiece. Greg Rakestraw, Dave Nicholson with you.
You knew it was going to happen with Hall, and I have him for 11 points here in the 3rd period.
Tied at 39. Carmel's largest lead was a dozen. That was at the end of the first quarter. Gray, the hustle. It'll stay here.
Very impressive defense by Attucks. I said that before, but they're making it tough for Carmel to get good looks, and they're really taking so much away from the inside. Little screen and roll with Harold would probably be effective.
Davis in the lane, missed it. Good look that wouldn't go. Harrell another board and puts it up and in. Harrell with a dozen. Hall just needs a sliver of space.
He seems to have one more gear than the other players, and it's a fast one.
Up and over Harrell. No. Good rebound by Nover. Vogt fans the corner. Turns down the 3. Finger roll does not go. Harrell's putback attempt does not go. Harrell fight for the loose ball and A timeout was called by Carmel because he thought that Harrell was going to have to figure a way to get rid of the ball from the seat of his pants. And it ends up being a 30. And now, Dave, Ryan's under one timeout with 9 minutes and 22 seconds left to go.
That part's not good, but I tell you what was good, that individual effort there by Harrell. He touched the ball 3 times there. He wasn't able to control it because he had 2 defenders around him, but he's down there touching the basketball. And very impressive.
So Carmel has 1 timeout remaining. Attucks has 3 remaining.
As a coach, you don't want to go into a tight ball game in the 4th quarter and only have 1 timeout. But I would say this, every time that Coach Osborne has taken a timeout, something good has happened. So he's making adjustments. You remember he took the first timeout with only about 3 minutes into the ball game.
Yep. We
pointed out that's unusual, but you can't question what Coach Osborne does. He's won 72.5% of his games since he's been here and 2 state championships.
Nova on the duck in, just couldn't grab the basketball. 8th Carmel giveaway. And if Attucks were able to land a come-from-behind winner, it would easily be their best win of the season.
That's the one thing you don't want to see after a timeout. You put in something, the special play, and you come out and you turn it over.
Bobbled but recovered by Corday Hill.
Close to a 5-second count.
And Daniels can match Hull step for step. Attucks sitting Davis with 3 fouls. And hand check against Julian Vogt. 4th team foul. 2nd of the game against Vogt.
Attucks got stuck on the right side of the court, and it never came around. They didn't reverse sides of the court. They played the whole possession there in about a 12-foot area.
Harrell got his hands on it, and about a 3-car pilot between he, Markel Gray, and Corey Furman. Quick score update, by the way. Lawrence North leading Hamilton Southeastern 52-51. And as at the end of the 3rd quarter, HSE continues to play well.
I read in one article today, they called Hamilton Southeastern a dunk.
Harrell with the flush.
Hamilton Southeastern, the hottest team in Indiana right now.
They are catching at the right time. We'll see them next Tuesday night when they play Westfield in the sectional opener from Noblesville. Lead back to 4 for the Hounds. Good looking drive in the corner. Davis, no, and Dickerson gets the tough rebound. Vogt turns down the 3, and Carmel's going to hold for a last look.
Neither team, Greg, has had much success on the offensive glass, particularly Attucks. I realize they're giving up a little size, but they haven't had success in getting second opportunities.
Daniels lost the handle, and so too did Blessing Thomas. That's it, and that's that. But Attucks continues to whittle away at the Carmel lead. What was 12 became 7, became 4. 43-39 with 8 minutes left to play. We're back in 60 seconds on ISC and My Indy TV.
Looking for the perfect place to celebrate? Look no further. Grindstone on the Monon has it all. Indulge in our exceptional cuisine and handcrafted cocktails. And for that extra touch of magic, enjoy our enchanting outdoor area, complete with a cozy fireplace. Make every occasion special at Grindstone on the Monon, located on Wheeler Road in Westfield. Cheers to great times and great food.
Hey, it's Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And each and every week in podcast form, video form from the ISC Sports Network, we do Query and Schultz, brought to you by Bailey and Wood, the fine folks south side of Indianapolis, but serving all of central Indiana for the best mortgage rates.
And, of course, we record right here at Chilly Water Brewing Tap Room and our friends at Hoagies and Hops, 42nd and Boulevard, right here in Indianapolis. We're talking Colts, we're talking Pacers, we're talking Hoosiers, we're talking Boilers, and we're hanging with you.
We talk the tall and the short of it, right, is what we do.
Yeah, whatever, man. Every Tuesday night, 7:30, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
2-possession ball game going to the final stands, and again, final quarter of the regular season for Carmel. Dave, what do you think makes the difference here in the last 8 minutes?
the coming alive of number 2, Hall. He had a big third quarter. He's been obviously the big scorer all year. When you need a basket, you go to the guy that brought you to the dance, and he's the guy. Both teams playing, I think, solid defense, even though the score doesn't indicate.
Attucks averages 71 a game. Nover on Hall. Dickerson on the help. 30 seconds here in the opening look by Attucks. You have to take a shot.
I keep thinking this is a great tune-up for the sectional of both of these ball clubs.
How about that scoop and score by Hill? He's got 11. Third different Tiger in double figures, and partner, I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Defense, free throws, rebounding.
Nover for 3. How about that for his first bucket of the game? Right around what he averages on a per-game basis. There's his dad, former Indiana great Matt Nover. Joking like to say Western Dolphin in there from time to time as well. Dickerson just couldn't pry that ball free. Hall right back at Nover. No, tough shot.
Very difficult. Standing without a dribble to get your rhythm, and deep and well defended.
Dickerson lines one up. That does not go, but Nover with the putback, and back-to-back buckets for the junior off the bench. He'll play more of a feature role next year for this team. And all of a sudden, partner, it's back to a 7-point lead. 10 is the largest it has been this half. Who touched it last? Attucks did.
Yep.
6th Attucks giveaway.
And Carmel's pretty good in this situation with 6 minutes to go. They've got a 7-point lead. They're not going to go down into a shutdown delay game, but I think they're going to be very selective in the shots they take.
Timeout taken by Attucks, who will take it with them. 6:03 to play in this one. Carmel's lead is 7. You're watching on ISC and My Indy TV.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Got fouled, got the dunk, got the poster, and gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away, and he puts it away.
Back inside the Eric Clark Activity Center for a final time this season. What a slate it has been for Carmel. Noblesville, North Central, Kokomo, Pike, Plainfield, Fishers, Lawrence North, Avon, the home foes for Carmel this year.
I think Coach Hawkins has decided it's time to turn up the heat.
The
Full
slip
court.
to Harrell. Blocked by Gray and taken away. 10th Carmel turnover. Gray runs the floor, Harrell recovers.
A heck of a look.
Inde, this has been a well-played game at both ends.
It has. And I think the Attucks has decided it's time to go. We're going to use our quickness. We're going to get down the court, try to get a transition basket here or there. And same thing on defense. I think they're going to extend the press, try to turn Carmel over.
Hall around Nover, no. Putback doesn't go. Hall was not happy, and
Oh,
Hall's going to get teed up. Yep.
A little bit over expression of emotions there.
Yep.
He hasn't shown the T sign. He might be giving a warning.
Yep.
Yep. He's going to shoot the.
Chris Hawkins is giving it right back.
Well, you hate to see that, but the referee really didn't have much choice.
They're giving him a warning. They're not giving a technical foul, just a warning.
I thought they might do that, and I agree with that. You know. And I'm not sure that they shouldn't do that with technicals on coaches. Stop, give them a warning the first time, and then if they overcross the line there, rather than teeing the guy up real quick. Now, obviously there's a different thing if the language is involved and things like that, if it gets personal.
So we play on. Carmel the ball in a 7-point lead.
I must confess, though, Greg, I don't know if I've ever seen a warning given before.
Right. They'll step through by Daniels, just his second field goal, and the first since the opening bucket of the game. He's been great about creating for teammates. He has not looked for his own shot as much tonight. It is now back to a 9-point game. Turn, pretty move that would not go. And Harrell collects the rebound. And for all the things Attucks has done well, they're in danger of being down by double digits with 4 minutes to play. Harrell lines it up and picks a good time to hit his first three of the game. And then Hall has his pocket picked. Daniels at the other end. Goaltending's going to be the call. Daniels was 6. And Thomas a little slow to get up. Trainer coming over from Carmel to check him out, and obviously last thing that you want to see is any sort of injury, and you think it's just of the cramp variety, at least you hope, given the fact that he's being stretched out. That's, yeah.
I think you're right.
And again, this is not the last game for Attucks, and frankly, their schedule kind of worked out the way it did, but the draw benefited them in multiple ways. Oftentimes, teams don't want to play past Tuesday of this week with the idea of, hey, you might have to play Tuesday next week. Good news for Attucks is that they are off until Friday next week. But they play Thursday and Saturday, and Thomas, I'm not sure he's ready to be mobile just yet.
And talking about the schedule and teams ending their schedule midweek, Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll have to take credit for that. Back in the 70s, I started closing out in midweek, either Tuesday or Wednesday, with the thought if you draw the Tuesday night draw in the sectional, you've gotten out time to prepare. Otherwise, you're going to play Friday and have a light workout Saturday, and then you're into a pregame. And my administration didn't like that real well because they felt like the gate receipts
Understood.
on the midweek would be down, and that's a valid point. But now I think the majority of teams are closing out in case they get that Tuesday draw. They have time to prepare.
Hall, beautiful move, left it short, but got fouled. Hall will shoot 2, and after Hall had 11 in the third quarter, he has not scored here in the fourth.
Yeah, he caught his brick. He's an emotional guy, but you want to direct those emotions in a positive way and don't let the negative thoughts get in your mind. He's too good a player.
Hall makes them both. He's got 15. But all of a sudden, it got late early for Attucks. It's a 12-point lead with 3:36 left to go in the game. In tomorrow night, Centerville at Pendleton Heights. A couple of teams we don't get to feature very often on ISC and My Indy TV. Looking forward to seeing the Arabians in action tomorrow night. John Herrick, Brady Laurie have the call. Fountain had some really good minutes in the first half. I've not seen as much of him in half number 2. And a foul called against Attucks.
Davis was holding hands with the offensive player. He's reaching for the basketball, and he caught the guy's hand. He didn't let go of it very quickly.
There really have not been many fouls called tonight, but most of them have been called on Davis. He's got 4. And again, Thomas is on the bench trying to hydrate as best he can to recover and get back in the game, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Cash Daniels. If there is a sticking point that Ryan Osborne may harp on about tonight's game, it's turnovers. That's 11. Again, for most teams, it's not a lot. For Carmel, that is.
But to me, it's a real perfect tune-up for the Greyhounds. They've been tested. They didn't go out to a big lead, and they've had to make plays. They've had to play defense all night. They've had to guard one of the better scorers right there in the game in Hall, and they've done a pretty good job.
Hall took a chest bump that time from Harrell. Hall will shoot 2.
Greyhounds foul 1. Evan Harrell hits third. Team's third of the quarter.
So Harrell 3, Bremer 3, Vogt 3 in terms of Carmel fouls. Hall 6 of 6 from the line, 75% on the season. And in the other quirk of tonight's game, Carmel has yet to shoot a free throw. They're up by 12. Dave, I had a college game with IU Indy this year, and again, how they play, that's not that surprising. They did not shoot a free throw until about 1:15 left in the game. And Dave, that was one of their 7 wins they had so far on the season.
And this has not been a non-physical game.
Right.
This has been a physical game, but not to get a free throw shot is very unusual. And I don't think the officials done a bad job. I think they've done a good job. But they've been consistent. And that's what everyone says. If you're going to call them tight in the first quarter, stay consistent the whole game.
30-second timeout taken by Attucks. Both teams have a timeout remaining at this point. Again, Attucks is at Roncalli, home to Ben Davis on Saturday night. Then they will host the sectional at Broad Ripple. Broad Ripple Gymnasium still in great shape. And it is used for some varsity games. It was used for a sectional last year. A 1A sectional was played at Broad Ripple High School / middle school a season ago. In the 6 teams in that sectional: Heron, Chittard, Shortridge, Attucks, Cathedral, and Purdue Poly downtown.
I mentioned this is a good job of getting Carmel ready for the sectional. They have seen about 4 different defenses and 3 different full court presses.
Daniels.
They've had to adjust on the fly, and they've done a pretty good job of it.
Got fouled. They'll get Gray on the reach. And Attucks, if they want to play the foul game, has fouls to give. Just 2 in the quarter. Gray picks up his second foul of the game.
I mentioned earlier, I always emphasized, and I think it's a nice out-of-bounds play. It didn't finish. But the most important thing, I think, in tournament play, defense, rebounding, and make free throws.
Good hustle to get the rebound, just missed it.
So many tournament games end at the free throw line.
Vogt will fire for 3, misses that one. Corday Hill the rebound.
Going above him.
Hall used that lefty spin to get that to work. He's got 18. He is the leading scorer now in the game. And folks, he had 2 points in the first half. Fountain catches the Ephus pitch to track it down. Off the leg. It wasn't kicked, off the leg. And maybe layup o'clock here for Carmel.
Yep. Layups or free throws.
Here comes Dawson. And Ryan Osborne will burn his final timeout And this will be a full timeout, and we will take it with him. Minute 42 to play in this one. Carmel the ball with a 9-point lead when we come back to the home of the Greyhounds on ISC and MyIndy TV.
Man, if I meet Braden Smith and Pig, he's never going to live that down.
Dude, don't get your hopes up. Hey, Adam, it's your turn. Oh, sorry, guys, gotta take this.
All right, Braden, go easy on me.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
I guess for every hour, there really is Banks and Brower.
Whether it's criminal, family, personal injury, or immigration law.
You can call them anytime. Sorry, got a call.
Sorry.
Minute 42 left to go in this one. It's been a good one. Carmel has led almost the entire way. Attucks had one brief lead early in the game. Was 12 down, got back to tied at 39. Carmel then reclaimed the lead, pushed it to 14. It is now 9 with a minute 42 in the contest.
Carmel's played really good defense. This Attica Ball Club averages 71 points a game, and they're looking at 46 right now.
Daniels throws it up top for Harrell. Harrell blocked.
It's got to be a call. He went up, came down, jump ball.
It's going to be a foul or a jump ball. It's a foul.
Yep. Or travel.
And you are about to see the first Carmel free throws of the night with 86 ticks of the clock left to go. Harrell, a mid-70s free throw shooter this year. Headed to play at Bellarmine, where so many good players from the state have played historically. Bellarmine now well into their Division I era. D2 national champs about 15 years ago, and that team was almost exclusively Southern Indiana guys. Attucks gave a really good accounting of themselves tonight. Thomas and one. Listen, if they play this way, assuming they get to Cathedral in the championship game next Saturday, Attucks will have a shot to win that sectional for a second straight year.
They do. They have an opportunity.
So this is kind of their reload year to a certain degree. Hall is a senior, Davis is a senior, but they're playing more underclassmen than they have the last couple of years.
The young man there at the line, Thomas, he's had a nice evening. 13 points, he averages 11 on the year, now 14.
He's 2 of 3 from the line tonight. Back to an 8-point game again. Attucks has one foul to give. The next foul would put Carmel in the 2-shot bonus. Davis, Vogt, and Vogt turns down the layup.
It's a very smart decision.
Game of keep away is on. Here comes the foul. It's on Dawson.
Dawson with the Crispus Attucks foul.
Next foul sends Carmel to a 2-shot bonus. And of note, Carmel has their 4 seniors on the floor again, 4 of their top 6 players. Fountain got the nod tonight. Carmel will play the winner of HSE in Westfield next Friday night at 7:30 on ISC, MyIndy TV, stream free, ihsatv.org. Vogt tipped away by Attucks. Carmel out of timeouts. Attucks has 1 remaining. Fountain, and again Vogt has turned down 2 layups. He's fouled, and Julian Vogt will shoot 2.
Wilson Thomas with the Crispus Attucks foul. His second team's fifth penalty in effect.
Good to see Thomas back out there for those leg cramps. We'll make sure we note that too.
With the quickness that this Attucks Ball Club is demonstrating, that's going to go a long way in making them a threat. I know they've got 2 challenging games coming up, but it's a good preparation for the sectional tournament, playing Ron Colley and Ben Davis. But their quickness is team-wise is really good.
For what it's worth, you want to play the comparison game. Ben Davis played Cathedral and beat them by 13 on Friday night. So just to file that away for Attucks fans that might be watching. Going to give you a gauge as to what it might look like.
I think Coach Osmond's going to let I thought he was going to let the seniors take a bow. But
and then you thought, nah, this is too
his
close
mind.
yet. Maybe a little bit, a possession or 2 down the road. Hall lost the handle. Slow to get up, and now you'll see the curtain call. Only problem is Ryan can't call the timeout to stop the clock. He's out of timeouts. So they may not get the curtain call here as they play keep away.
You hate to call one of your teammates to travel.
Right.
Double dribble will do something to stop the clock.
Hall helped the cause, so to speak, by committing the foul. So Bremer will shoot 2. Stay tuned. Coming up, we'll have our post-game show, which will include our LD Smith Big Dog of the Game for our player of the game. Bremer misses. Again, next week we'll have 4 games on MyNDTV, all from the Noblesville sectional, or the house that Nicholson built. You can also call it that as well. So Shostak is in, Kazmierzak is in, Delancey Fant is in, and Cole will come in for Bremer if he makes the second free throw, which he does. So Bremer legs it with 9 points, all coming since halftime. In every other year, these young men get to play a sectional game here. Last year, Carmel was eliminated the opening night of the sectional. Hall will take one final fling from atop the key. That does not go, and that will be that. Our final score will be 60-49, and frankly, the final score does not indicate how competitive this game was. We'll take this time out. Post-game coverage comes your way next. Carmel wins their season finale. They're now 16-5 on ISC and MyNDTV.
At the University of Indianapolis, your education is just the beginning. Small class sizes means that everyone gets to know you, your goals, your dreams, and your vision for the future. UIndy empowers you with real-world, hands-on learning projects that transforms your potential into purpose. And it's just minutes from downtown Indianapolis, connecting you to our alumni network, internships, and careers. How's that for opportunity? So, are you in? Your future begins at the University of Indianapolis.
Hey, it's Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And each and every week in podcast form, video form from the ISC Sports Network, we do Query and Schultz, brought to you by Bailey and Wood, the fine folks south side of Indianapolis, but serving all of central Indiana for the best mortgage rates.
And, of course, we record right here at Chilly Water Brewing Tap Room and our friends at Hoagies and Hops, 42nd and Boulevard, right here in Indianapolis. We're talking Colts, we're talking Pacers, we're talking Hoosiers, we're talking Boilers, and we're hanging with you.
We talk the tall and the short of it, right, is what we do.
Whatever, man. Every Tuesday night, 7:30, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
Got the dunk, got the poster, and gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away, and he puts it away.
Shot at the buzzer. She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Hello.
Did it again.
Hello.
Made the highlight reel again. That goes to
Whoa,
Metzer and all
touchdown.
kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello.
There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow.
This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
The regular season in the books for the Carmel Greyhounds. They beat Crispus Attucks by a score of 60-49 on senior night. Tonight's game at ISC and MyNDTV, presented in part by Banks and Broward. For every hour, there's Banks and Broward. By Cluster Truck, now available in Carmel as of this Friday. By Galitko and Daly, here to work when you can't. Learn more at IndianaWorkers.com. by LD Smith Plumbing, the big dogs of plumbing. By Unranked Hoops, Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy. Check out unrnkd.com. And by Wabash College. Schedule your visits today at wabash.edu. Greg Rakestraw, Dave Nicholson. Dave, how did Carmel get it done tonight?
Defense. Attucks was averaging 71 points a game. They have 49. That's 22 points below their average. So I think Carmel had an excellent tune-up game going into the tournament. They got various players that stepped up that maybe a little higher than they normally do. Namely, Fountain he got a starting job and doing a good job. But on the other hand, I think Attucks can upset people. They can beat people, but if it's someone who you think might be a little better than they are, they have quickness. Hall didn't have his normal game, but he ended up having a good game. And you got to think going into the sectional, he's going to be ready to go. So I think a good tune-up for Carmel, and Attucks has 2 more opportunities to tune up before they tip off the sectional.
Our friends at Prep Ball Stars having a conversation with Evan Harrell. We may talk about Evan when we come back as well to wrap things up from Carmel High School. Hounds win it, 60-49. Back to wrap it up next on ISC and My Indy TV.
Hey, it's Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And each and every week in podcast form, video form from the ISC Sports Network, we do Query and Schultz, brought to you by Bailey and Wood, the fine folks south side of Indianapolis, but serving all of central Indiana for the best mortgage rates.
And, of course, we record right here at Chilly Water Brewing Tap Room and our friends at Hoagies and Hops, 42nd and Boulevard, right here in Indianapolis. We're talking Colts, we're talking Pacers, we're talking Hoosiers, we're talking Boilers, and we're hanging with you.
We talk the tall and the short of it, right, is what we do.
Whatever, man. Every Tuesday night, 7:30, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
Got the dunk, got the poster, and gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away, and he puts it away. McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is
God, there you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That is Wrestler! Wrestler!
Whoa!
Our last visit to Carmel until the beginning of the football season. Look forward to being back here for their football season opener at the newly revamped Carmel Stadium when they take on Fishers on August the 21st. We've got more basketball as of tomorrow night. Pendleton Heights and Centerville is our game. From the home of the Arabians, again, Sean Herrick and Brady Laurie will have that one for you beginning at 7:30 on ISC and My Indy TV. One final piece of business for us. It's our player of the game, which we call the big dog of the game, brought to us by LD Smith Plumbing. LD Smith Plumbing is the big dog of sewers and drains. At LD Smith Plumbing and Drains, know a thing or two about getting dirty and keeping things flowing. Hats off to tonight's big dog, leading the charge for his team to victory. Evan Harrell in his final game in this building. We think it's an all-star level career. Davey had 19 points tonight.
Well, I've said before, I think he's one of the most improved players on the Carmel team. He had his senior night, great showing tonight, battled down inside, led the team in scoring, but the main thing he did down inside was just play really aggressive, and I think he's going to do well, not only in the sectional, not only in the regional, wherever they end up, but he's going to be a good 3 or 4 man in college.
For Attucks, Hall 18, Thomas 14, Hill 11. For Carmel, Harrell 19, Vogt 13, and Bremer 9. Partner, I'll see you for the postseason in 7 days.
Thank you.
For Dave Nicholson and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Carmel wins their regular season finale. Attucks did a lot of things well. They're going to be just fine at the postseason play in 3A. Your final score, Carmel 60, Attucks 49. Good night from the home of the Greyhounds. Thanks for watching on ISC and My Indy TV.
Hey, it's Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And each and every week in podcast form, video form from the IC Sports Network, we do Query and Schultz, brought to you by Bailey and Wood, the fine folks south side of Indianapolis, but serving all of central Indiana for the best mortgage rates.
And, of course, we record right here at Chili Water Brewing Tap Room and our friends at Hoagies and Hops, 42nd and Boulevard, right here in Indianapolis. We're talking Colts, we're talking Pacers, we're talking Hoosiers, we're talking Boilers, and we're hanging with you.
We talk the tall and the short of it, right? Is what we do.
Whatever, man. Every Tuesday night, 7:30, right here on the